Sanjay, in a week where he turned 38, Ravichandran Ashwin, showing he's still got some fuel left in the tank.
Yes, and there was never any doubt of that fact. And he'll be happy with this performance because it came against a Bangladesh team that wasn't the Bangladesh team of before. It had just beaten a pretty good team like Pakistan in their backyard. So they came with some reputation. It's always nice to, perform and well against and beat an opposition that has come with some, what should I say, some kind of standing in world cricket.
Having earlier not had the best of times at what is his home venue in Tests he played before that. When you look at Indian cricket broadly, there's no clear like-for-like successor to Ashwin. You don't see an off-spinner who's ready to take on Test cricket. Does Ashwin need to go on for a little longer for India's sake?
Not little longer. There's nothing when he's bowling here on Indian pitches to see and, wonder whether the end is near or there's something different, which is remarkable. Also tells you about, the fitness that you need for bowling. In the past, I'm not even going in my times, before that as well, we had people like Shivalkar and Rajendra Goyal. I mean, they didn't look like cricketers, but they had the bowling fitness. And maybe Ashwin has that as well because he's done so much bowling, good action, uses the fingers a lot. So sometimes the body is conserved. So I see no signs where you think, that we've got to start looking at a backup for Ashwin because he looks as good to me today as, say, 5 years back.
And to that, when you add the fact that this is a player who doesn't play a lot of games when India play their test matches outside of Asia and the more challenging conditions, then all the more reason to believe that Ashwin, at least playing at home, playing in these conditions, could go on for still a few more years.
Yeah, I wouldn't even be thinking in that direction because Test cricket is not as, frequent as it used to be, and he plays this format. And you've just got to keep looking at science, keep it simple, look at current form, performances, and the value add of any player, whatever the age. And actually, this is the first time you put this thought in my head about the, the backup spinner. At some stage, India will have to start looking at a backup spinner of some quality to get into the big shoes of Ashwin. But currently, it has not even crossed my mind.
Ashwin and Jadeja's all-round act. You had centuries from Pant and Gill on day three. Bumrah doing what he did. You even touched upon the slip catching, which impressed you.
Yeah.
All of these facets together make for a comprehensive win. And what stood out the most to you?
Just that India maintained their dominance at home, beating Australia, few last year, then England as well. So they're beating strong teams. And Bangladesh was going to be a slightly different proposition because I believe that India had a real challenge when it came to the kind of players Bangladesh have, the kind of spinners that they have. So ranked turner, which has been India's MO to win matches at home, cannot be given. But despite that, what really stood out and what I think the coach and the captain will be happy about is that it wasn't a ranked turner, but the dominance from India was the same. So they've got these batters, they've got excellent slip catchers, they've got some great seam bowlers and spinners. Yeah, it's all looking very good. Just that one fielder in that Indian playing 11 will be picked out to do some field sessions even after the test match.
Let's touch upon Bangladesh and where they will look to improve. Among all the areas they need to revisit, would you start with the fact that there are 5 left-handers in that top 6?
I will only look at the positives, where I thought the two openers showed some good opening batters approach and skills. But what fell short was after they reached 30, it seemed like they had run out of fuel mentally. So those 30s have to be converted into hundreds if you want to challenge a team like India. Shakib, Mushfiqur, Rahim, they have to. I know they're not young. They've been around for a long time. But when the marquee series comes along, they must be mentally more tough, especially Mushfiqur and Litton Das to an extent. So yes, So those are the areas of improvement for Bangladesh. Apart from that, most of the things that you saw, that there's some spark in the seam bowling department. I think there's enough potential for batters to deliver. Spin is not going to be a problem. Give them a rank there, no? And Taijul will come in, and you'll see, how they could trouble India.
Even the bowling plans would need a revisit. Those three pacers worked in Pakistan in a certain way, but over here, the mix just not quite setting in.
Yeah, even for India. And it's something we mentioned earlier as well. And the reason why I had Kuldeep Yadav in my side is that when you play in India, you don't want to play three seamers. Even if you get a green top on day one, by day 3, 4, the pitch is more conducive to spin and will encourage spin more. So I think two should be enough. And considering that India are not very happy playing spinners on pitches with a bit of turn, I think Tiger should come back in, and because Shakib is not your guarantee. I mean, Shakib clearly looks like he wants to be the batting all round in the series, so that also could be looked at. Taijul must come back, and one seamer less and one spinner more is something that India will feel not so good. They would like this combination more of more seamers and less spinners.